Okay, I'm rolling.
What's up? Is the mic on?
Oh, okay, take two. Mics are on now.
What's up, everybody? So, this is going to be our first end of the year recap thing, and I've been debating about the best way to handle this. I was thinking about like ranking different things, doing like a tier list. Ultimately, decided that it would probably be best if we just did these were my favorite products of the year situation. Us being a bike shop, we sell a wide variety of brands and products, and while I do view us in a little bit of a journalistic light, I'm not here to tear down a product intentionally. I feel like if all we were doing was being a media outlet, maybe that'd be a little different. I ultimately landed on just a run through of my favorite things that I rode or were bike related this year. And I hope you enjoy. We're gonna do this first where it's gonna be me, and then we're gonna have Chase, and then Trey. Those will be separate videos. So this one is mine, and the first one that's gonna come out. So the first thing that I wanted to say from this year was that my job has changed a lot. It's all thanks to y'all. The amount of custom builds and cool, exciting products that we get to work on and sell is not common. Most bike shops don't have 30 flight attendant dampers in stock at a time. And I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge that what we've been able to do would not be possible without y'all watching our videos and buying stuff from us. And I just wanted to say thank you to anyone that's bought anything from us. That is directly how we make money. We don't make money making these videos. In fact, we lose money making these videos, but we do it because it helps connect us with customers who might be underserved or are just into the same kind of vibe of stuff that we're into. Like, I'm really into endurance mountain bike racing, and there's not a lot of content on the internet about that. And so just being able to connect with other people who are into that via the internet is awesome. And again, thank you so much to everybody who's reached out or bought a bike from us. Pan over to the custom build. Yeah. It's really changed our lives for the better, and again, thank you so much for everybody who's been reaching out to get a bike built. Couldn't do it without you. So this being the first time we've done a Best of the Year awards, I am not that organized with it because we've been really busy with the holiday. I put this bike in the bike stand to start this video off, and for a very good reason. This is my S-Works Epic 8. We just released an hour-long breakdown of this bike. Ultimately, it is my favorite bike of the year, and I've deliberated a lot on that, because I'm still a huge fan of the Allied BC40. But that, to me, like, had we made a 2023 version of this video, then it would have all been about that bike. And I'm gonna retroactively reward the BC40, my 2023 bike of the year. Well deserved, but that bike I've had for over a year, which again speaks volumes of how much I like it, but did not come out this year. This one did, and I think that it is deserving of the award that I'm making up right now. Congratulations.
Yay.
Yay. Out of every bike I've ridden, like, this is one that I keep just gravitating towards, and I think that it is the best bike for the most amount of people on the market, and me included. I just don't think it has a weakness. It's well sorted throughout, and if you're on the fence about getting one of these, I don't think you should be. I think it's very, very easy to get this bike and be very impressed by it. You can't really talk about any of my bikes without talking about Flight Attendant. Flight Attendant is the winner of what I think is the best product of the year, period. Out of everything that I got to ride this year, Flight Attendant was the clear winner in my head. If you're gonna spend money on something, anything, flight attendant should be one of the first things that is purchased for your bike. It is, in my opinion, a game changer on the same level of whenever they decided to make tires tubeless. I'm just going through like big revolutions of mountain bike technology. The 29er, whenever they started to get good, flight attendant is, I think, game changing on the level of that, if that makes sense. It is truly the next generation of mountain biking and came out this year. I think as more and more people have started to ride it, it's not just me saying this anymore. If you made me pick between having super nice carbon wheels or flight attendant, I would go flight attendant. You know what I mean? Like it's that important to me. I would rather have flight attendant than anything else on this bike. You could delete all the other fancy parts of it. Give me the most basic bike. If I could have flight attendant, I still think it's worth it. Unfortunately, not a lot of people got to have a shot at trying out, but I did. The Specialized Control Team Edition wheels. I rode most everybody's wheel. I haven't tried bird spokes yet, but other than that, like I've tried most everybody's wheel set. This is so clearly the best one. It's not even close. That includes the standard Control SO wheel set that I also think is incredible. I have 2 sets of those, but this set is better. And I think that hopefully Specialized makes some kind of version of this available to the general public in the future because it's that good. You can really feel it whenever you're riding. And I've talked about this in a lot of the race videos, but easily the best wheel set I used this year, road, gravel, and mountain. I have some wicked wheels on my bike right now. That is because it is going to snow tomorrow and we're gonna go mountain biking because it's gonna be cold enough that the trails are frozen. So installed these on here. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to the wicked wheel. It's not a tire that I'm like racing on all the time, but this is like a trail tire that doesn't make me frustrated whenever I'm riding. Whenever I have big heavy tires on my bike, I feel frustrated a lot of the time, and not with these. If you're looking for a winter tire or a tire that maybe you're not into super slick tires, highly recommend this Schwabel Wicked Wheel tire. I have one other honorable mention, Schwabe, the G1 RS. These are 50s, but I've ridden all 3 sizes available this year. I think that it is the best gravel tire that you can buy right now, but it is not my tire of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and give this tire number 3. This is number 2, and then number 1 is the Aspen Team Boys, the 170 TPI Aspens. Everybody has run Aspens before. Like if you're watching this video, probably 90% of people watching this video have used a Maxxis Aspen before. I quit using Maxxis Aspens because I didn't think they were the most supple tires ever. Even though they were fast, it's just not as supple as I was looking for. And I switched over to using Kenda's booster tire, and then I started using the Ralph Schwab tires, and then Schwab came out with the Ricks, but nothing in my mind really compares to these right now. They not only are measuring to a true 2.4 width, they're supple, they're fast. I haven't flatted them, and I've raced them in many places where you would assume I would flat them. Highly recommend the 170 TPI Aspens. Totally changed my opinion about Maxxis tires in general because honestly, like I said, I had kind of stopped liking them and I felt like they were kind of falling behind in terms of like tire quality to other brands. But nope, they're number 1. Shout out to Maxxis on making ginormous improvement to a classic tire. And if you haven't tried these 170s, I highly recommend it. We try to have a lot of the stuff that we're talking about in stock, so just feel free to reach out or order it on our website. If you followed along, you might know that I'm not the biggest fan of gravel bikes, and I always seem to have kind of a rocky relationship. Even if I buy a bike that I like, I always tend to like not ride it, you know? Like I can get a bike that's awesome and then I just am like, I'd rather ride my mountain bike. I realized that I didn't say this earlier, but my honorable mention for my personal bike of the year is the new Cervelo Aspero. This bike, I think it's my favorite gravel bike on the market currently. And a lot of that has to do with what you get for the price of this bike. This is a $2,500 frame. We've done a ton of videos with this, and we have a bunch more videos coming out about this bike very soon. But this bike is super comfortable. Honestly, it looks a lot nicer than most gravel bikes in this price category. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Cervelo for updating a bike. They didn't like redefine what it was, but it's a nice update. It fits a bigger tire. If you can tell, I actually have 50s in it, the G1 RS 50s. I don't think they fit with the most clearance. They're not like safe, like I bet it hits the frame, but it does fit, which I was surprised by. So yeah, Cervelo Sparrow, definitely number 2. Gravel's just not as cool as mountain bikes, y'all. I don't think that's a secret. While I have this bike in my hand, I wanted to give a shout out to Zip. This is a handlebar that I have loved for a long time. And I don't even consider this to be a new product, even though it is a new version of an old product. How many do I have? Yeah, so I have like 4 of these. So this is the Zip Explorer handlebar, but the carbon version of it. Aluminum bar has always been my favorite bar, but I was always asking SRAM, I'm like, why don't you guys make that in carbon for like the last 3 years? And they finally did. Same shape, so same exact bar that I've always loved, but now it's just carbon. One caveat being, and I think this was very intelligent, is that they also made it to where it works with integrated bikes. So now I can run this handlebar on any bike with integrated cables and it works. So quick shout out to that. My favorite saddle is this one. This is not a new product, but it is new to me this year. S-Works Power Mirror in a 143 is what I run. Whenever I first tried this saddle, like you get bummed, like trying a new saddle sucks because if you like it, you have to buy like, I don't know. I think I have to
buy one for every bike.
I have like 5 of them now and they're not cheap. But shout out to Specialized for also having the Pro model available. I know Chase, you've used the Pro on your bikes for a while. I think it's the same ride feel. If you're looking for a new saddle, I highly recommend the Power Mirror. It is just game changing in terms of how comfortable it is, and I think one ride on it and I was ready to throw my other ones away, and I did. I sold them all on eBay. So I wanted to highlight 2 of my favorite pieces of clothing that I owned this year and still own. First, what do you call this? You always have a word for it.
Oh, the hot boy shirt.
It is technically for hot boys because it is very good at keeping you cool. This is the Panama zipperless jersey. I think that this is the best jersey ever made. And I think that you all should try it. I think we might have one in stock or a couple in stock. If you want one, let us know. This is truly my favorite cycling jersey I've ever owned, and I think it's so cool. I've been begging multiple brands to make zipperless jerseys, and Panama does.
And this one is totally mesh. Great for summer.
Honestly, one other benefit of this is even in the wintertime, I've been actually wearing this as an undershirt because it's the same thing as their undershirts. It just has pockets on the back. Yeah, you don't need the pockets on an undershirt, but that also lets you wear it as just a jersey in the summertime. So I have like 3 of these now, and I've been wearing them as undershirts this winter, and kind of a perk of it, it's dual purpose, if that makes sense. And that leads me to this, which was kind of a weird thing at first. We don't know how this, well, I know how this happened. We're pretty sure Gentry.
You're blaming this on Gentry?
Like, who else would have done that to a shirt?
I don't know, but don't blame my baby.
I think I'm blaming her. She's like markering the store all the time. This got like a pen mark on it, and then I just decided to like buy it. And I thought it was really weird. This is the Panama wool escapism long sleeve jersey. These are like my 2 most worn pieces of clothing this year. I am so impressed by how well this wool jersey regulates your temperature when you're riding, and I didn't expect that. I thought it was kind of weird to have a wool jersey. I thought it was gonna be too hot. It's not. It like breathes if it needs to, but if it's cold, it kind of like insulates. I'm assuming that's somebody's gonna say like, yeah, that's what wool does, and I'm like, I don't know.
You don't know much about the sheep, man.
Anyway, I highly recommend this wool jersey. I've loved riding in it, and
It's the only jersey I've seen Jesse reach for in the last 2 months or so.
yeah, well, I have the Mechanism normal jersey, and that one's good too, but it's not as good as this one. This one's better. I just ran out to my car, and I could not tell everybody about these. This has been my favorite sunglasses I've ever owned. These are the Smith Shift XL Mag. You can wear them inside.
I know, you got to get the full look.
So these sunglasses, I wear contacts, and I've actually had a lot of situations in the past where I would lose a contact while I was racing. So I go for like the biggest possible lenses. But then what ends up happening is if you're mountain bike racing, it gets too dark for me. So I have really light eyes, and so in the trail, if it's like lower light, I can't see as well. I used to just wear like normal sunglasses, and I'd have to take them on and off a bunch. These are the photochromatic ones, and it's been a complete game changer for me personally. I don't have to take these off, and I can mountain bike in them because they change shade as the sun changes. So huge shout out to Smith on these. Super thankful to have these sunglasses. We do sell Smith now, so if you want a pair, we can order for you. And then I figured, since we do a lot of racing on this channel, I came up with 4 races that I wanted to mention. The first one is an unranked one because I didn't feel like it was appropriate to award ourselves an award. But the Hoosier Downcountry mountain bike race, that's just been like a dream of mine to have an endurance mountain bike race in Indiana here. I thought it went really well. And ironically, I had my best day on the bike of all year at that race.
Home court advantage.
It was a little bit of home court advantage, but I also, you know, like I just had the legs. Like I never felt weak. I just continued to like be strong the whole time. And thanks to everybody that came out to that race. I wanted to just kind of shout that race out as clearly the race where I performed the best at.
Tentative date for 2025 Hoosier Downcountry, September 13th. I'm
Yeah,
saying
so
tentative because I need to confirm that with the venue.
everybody who's been reaching out about asking when the races are, like they're going to be announced very soon. There's going to be some cool changes. Like we're going to have a prize purse for every race this year, so stay tuned for that. We'll be announcing the dates and all the info here shortly. Third place. This one is kind of an underrated one, or it might not seem like one that you would expect me to say, but Bluegrass Mountain Cup, Perry County. I always just call it the Hazard Kentucky race. That is one of the coolest race courses I've ever been on. It truly feels like you're racing a World Cup style event. It's very spectator friendly if you want it to be. The pro race is 4 laps. You kind of just go straight up a hill. You hit like pockets of gravel road, and then you get back on the trail and you hit like a pocket, and it's like a loop that just goes up, and then you go back down, and then you do that 4 times, and it's fun to be doing that race. It does truly feel like you're like racing some kind of like ski resort style race, and you're literally in like Hazard, Kentucky, like super rural area. I really enjoy that race, even though it's super short. I think it was like an hour, 40 minutes or something.
Bluegrass races, like the races that they put on, are just awesome in general, but that was a standout.
Yeah,
course.
shout out to Bluegrass in general. I wanted to kind of include them in this, and Hazard's my favorite one, but I did multiple Bluegrass races last year, and it was a lot of fun to go to. Number 2 was Wilderness 101. I know that's not like a new race, but that was one of the races I had the most fun at all year. I really liked the vibe of the environment. I liked the way the race kind of played out. It was hard without being so hard that it wasn't fun. Like whenever I did Margie, it was like, okay, this is starting to not be fun. You know what I mean? Like I never got that feeling with Wilderness, and it still was super challenging at the same time. I just thought it was a perfect blend of doing super hard stuff and also having fun, and ultimately that's super important if you're gonna be on a bike for 100 miles. So I can't remember what the name of the race promotion is. It's part of the NUE series, but it's like the same guy. He does the Shenandoah race too, which I went to and really enjoyed also. I just looked it up. It's Shenandoah Mountain Touring. I can't not give a shout out to their website that is straight out of the 90s. Like, this is their legit website. Oh my God. Oh my God. It hasn't been updated in so long. This is amazing. Anyway, shout out to Shenandoah Mountain Touring. 2 great events I went to this year, but I'm just picking one for this list, Wilderness 101. Number 1, and this one might be obvious, but Ozark Gravel Doom. This year I did the 200-mile race on the Drop Bar World Cup, and not only did I win that race, which I didn't expect to have that happen, but I just wanted to like remind everybody that what Andrew has built over there at Ozark Gravel Doom is truly special, and I highly recommend you sign up if you haven't. We'll be going this year too, and just one of the best events I've ever been to. And I also think, having done it the last 2 years, it's only gotten better. So the first year I did it, the race started in OARC, which doesn't have a lot of amenities. And I know for a bikepacking race like that's totally cool, right? Now that he's kind of stationed out at the Horseshoe Canyon Ranch with all the lodging, and there's actual food, and there's like a home base, just made the event so much more special. It felt just so much more legit to me. I can't wait to go back this year now that it's 2025, see how it goes. I'm guessing there'll be double the amount of people there now with the 100-mile distance that he's out at. So big shout out to Ozark Gravel Doom. So yeah, that was kind of a rundown of some of my favorite stuff of the year. If I had to pick one thing, it would be flight attendant. Again, I can't stress enough how much I love flight attendant, and yeah, it was great. Let me know what y'all thought about this video. Just a kind of a quick rundown. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I'm sure none of this was a secret, but regardless, thank you so much for helping us grow our business this year, and we really appreciate it. Coming up next will be Chase's end of the year, and then we'll have Trey's sometime in the future whenever we get it. Trey's moving right now, so he's really busy.
Arrow.
Anyway, see y'all later.